Well, that's a great question. So I felt I was in the peak of my powers in 2011-12. Before I did my cruciate, I thought I was in a really good place. Actually, at the end of 2011, went up to international rules training, broke my leg. Then went to 12 and did my cruciate. And to be honest with you, I had 3 years there, 2012, 13 and 14, where I should have been at the peak of my career. I was I was 30, and that's when I always felt I would get to because my game wasn't about, I was never a David Clifford or a Shane Walsh or a Lee Keegan. I had no real natural attributes, really. So my game was about learning and try to learn the game and get better at the smart stuff. But when I got to that stage, and all of a sudden I got to the point where I wanted to be in 2011, bang, the injury started kicking in, and away I go. So I found that really, really difficult, and we'll talk about that later, I'm sure. But I found that really difficult. But how you improve while you're in there is, I came back from them injuries. I couldn't make the team. I couldn't get back into it. James, all of a sudden, I went from being captain, probably one of the most important players, to being a sub, and quite lucky at times to be coming on, because my training wasn't evident in what I was doing on the pitch. Now, when I came on, I used to do okay, but it was a tricky one. So I started building things in my head of, how can I do stuff that nobody else can do because my running ability totally left me. I used to be a wing forward where I used to cover a lot of ground and all that kind of totally left me. So it was like, I just came up with an idea, what can I do that nobody else can do on the team to get me back into the team? And that was staying close to the goal, winning the ball high up the field, and away. And that's all I did. It wasn't rocket science. It wasn't anything revolutionary. It was just, as you said, a mindset change, and it really, really did work for me. And I just kind of built on it, really learned how, you're saying, how can you develop through a setup, really learned what my own team did. So if Kevin McLaughlin got the ball on the 45, which way is he going to turn with the ball? How does he like to kick the ball? Can he kick it? Kevin was always tricky because he could kick it inside, outside. He could put any kind of spin on the ball. Where Aidan used to do nearly the same thing all the time: cut in, cut out, kick it on the second. So you used to kind of just learn what they used to do, and then that used to make my movement better. So I used to just try to learn what other players could do, and then try to develop through that.